My name is Diane Barnard. I am a collections curator at the Alabama Department of Archives and History with a specialty in textiles. Today I'm going to tell you about Juliet Perry Dixon's inaugural ball gown that she wore in January of 1939, and it is truly an advertisement for Alabama. Today I'm going to tell you about Juliet Perry Dixon's inaugural ball gown, which was worn in January of 1939. Her husband, Frank Murray Dixon, was governor from 1939 to 1943. 1939 was a transition period. Alabama had come out of the Depression, yet was still suffering effects of the Depression. It was the beginning of World War II in Europe, and so the whole period of fashion and history was in a transition. So the designer, Martha Henderson Goings, a Birmingham native, has influences of 30s and the beginnings of 40s seen in this dress. This section right here is definitely a 30s design feature. You'll see this later on, obviously, in the 70s and in the 1980s, but it was a heavy influence in the 1930s. This section, basically from this cummerbund up, is more of a 40s feeling. Just a hint of the beginning of the 40s. And you see with the halter, it's not to say that you didn't see that in the 30s, but it becomes much more prevalent in the 40s. And she wore a velveteen, at that time it was lavender, right here in the center front, and she had one in her hair. Now, one of the most interesting features of this dress, I think, is this cummerbund, the way it's made. Actually, it is two sashes, and then they have this fan shape at the end. And when they're wrapped around her and they come back, they form sort of a bustle effect. And I think it's beautiful. It really is. And of course, for her, it would have been a lot more comfortable to wear than a true bustle. You may be wondering, why are we talking about a dress? What does clothing have to do with history? Well, when you look at a textile, a dress, a men's suit, a pair of shoes, you are looking at far more than just the object or the material themselves. It all has to do with technology that has developed over hundreds of years. It's about economics, what was happening in the country that made it so that technology could develop. And it's also about local economics, because we had Alabama, as the rest of the country, was coming out of the Depression, and that was not an instantaneous thing. And so, as with other governors' wives, they made the decision to stay local, to have their gowns made locally. Given the economic situation, Miss Dixon kept the design within Alabama artists. The designer was also a member of the Dixie Art Colony, which was founded in 1934 in Alabama. It's a prestigious organization in that it features not just Alabama artists, but it features Southern artists. It was all a really good advertisement for Alabama. And so that's another special thing about this dress. And it's a good way to show that textiles tell stories far, far greater than just the actual piece of fabric sitting in front of you.